I know you like the color red, and that's why you are here today because you are most likely a Krittika Nakshatra native. That means you have either your moon in Krittika, or maybe your Lagna Lord is in Krittika, or your Lagnesh, or maybe even your sun is in Krittika, or maybe you have many planets in Krittika Nakshatra 2, 3, 4, 5. So this video is for you because then Krittika Nakshatra traits will play out in your life. All right. So please listen to these top 10 karmic lessons for Krittika Nakshatra and comment your thoughts below. If you already have a prominent Kritika, then how many of these have you seen in your life manifesting? And what other things have you seen with other people who also have Kritika? What kind of things have they gone through in their life? All right, I'm very interested to see that in the comment section. And as usual, if you're new, then don't forget to subscribe and hit the thumbs up if you enjoy this video. And for personalized consultations, you will find my website down in the description section. God is there with you all the time. Just look to Him and you will find Him for sure. So, the first karmic lesson, love triangles. Stay away from it. So, if you have a prominent Kritika, then it can happen, especially if your Lagnesh, Moon, Venus, or your fifth lord, seventh lord, no, especially if these planets are in Kritika, then it can, or rather, it will certainly happen that you will run into a person who is already in a relationship but is in some kind of distress. And that person will try to get attention from you, will try to get your favors. And then what happens is maybe that person will fall in love with you, and then you need to fight with their partner, or maybe they will get back with their ex-partner and you will be left nowhere. All right. So, therefore, be very careful with interacting with somebody who has some problems in their relationships, especially if you have a Kritika Nakshatra prominent, or if that person has a prominent Kritika. So it will work both the ways. All right. This is very important. So love triangle. The second thing which you should be very careful is from the opposite sex in general. Okay, so Kritika Nakshatra somehow does not have the best relationship with the opposite sex. Okay, so therefore, not just love triangles. So here you should also be very careful. If your Kritika Nakshatra is very prominent, there are chances that some member of the opposite sex can spread fake news about you. They could be false allegations. Things which you have never done in your life. All right. This will happen especially if your eighth lord is in Kritika, or it could happen even if Venus is in Kritika. Okay. But in general, be very careful. Always remember the Lakshman Rekha when you are interacting with the opposite sex. Okay. Very, very, very careful before you cross the red line. Red. All right. Number 3 is you need to cultivate patience and tolerance because you have a very fiery temper. And because of this, what happens is you may say things which others cannot forget in the rest of their life. So therefore, you may regret this later. Okay, so be a bit mindful of your anger. And if you feel you are extremely angry or you are about to blast, just don't say anything for that moment. And in the heat of the moment, please shut your mouth. And you can tell that person who is shouting on you, please leave the room or leave the house. Otherwise, things will go haywire. We will talk later. You can say like that, but don't give in to anger. All right. Otherwise, things can go out of control. Number 2, you are very critical sometimes. Critical. Kritika is the knife, of course, I won't go into the nakshatra. You are already aware of it. Maybe you have seen 1,000 videos on YouTube already, and now you have jumped here. So you are extremely critical. All right. So because of that, what happens? People, uh, it it pierces their heart. All right. This will be more prominent if you have the number 6 in your numerology, which means you are born on either 6th or 15th or 24th or if you add your date of birth, there is 6 in your DOB, okay? Apart from the first two digits of the year, which is obvious because nobody is born in 1600s. Whoever is watching this video. So, or if you have 6 anywhere else apart from the first two digits. So, you are born in June, or you are born in 1960s, or 19 anything 76, 86, 96, or you add your entire date of birth, it goes up to 6. So that's your destiny number. So if you have 6, then also, and along with it, if you have a prominent kritika, then you can be extremely critical. You can say things which people will never be able to forget. So you can, maybe you are a master at taunting people, all right? So please be mindful of that, okay? They will not forget, okay? Then number 5, very, very, very important. You need to do inner purification. So with Kritika Nakshatra, what happens is sometimes we feel that we are the best because we can be very talented. But what happens with Kritika is, just because we are good at something, we kind of believe that everybody else also should be good at that. If not, then they are good for nothing. Okay, they are a piece of junk. That is what we may believe sometimes. So therefore, we need to understand that everybody has different skills and talents and interests and power in life. Okay, so just because you are good at something, or you like somebody, it does not mean that everybody should be good at that thing, or everybody should like somebody, that person that you like. So therefore, if you have a prominent kritika, then you need to be very careful in not imposing your thoughts, belief systems in others. And you don't need to, you should not judge other people just because they don't have something which you have. Okay, so you need to purify yourself, you need to do spiritual practices, and you have to calm down your mind, as I said already. Anger and sexuality and critical nature, okay, these are the most difficult things to control for a Kritika Nakshatra native. Then number 6, we need to master self-discipline. Okay, very, very, very important. Okay, self-discipline is critical because with Kritika, there could be a trait where you are, where you overestimate yourself and you underestimate others. Okay, so be a bit careful with that. So it can happen that you think you will do this project in like 10 days, and maybe you actually need like 2 months to do it. Okay, and maybe about somebody else you may think, oh yeah, who is this person, and this person will need 6 months, and maybe that person does it in 2 months. Okay. So therefore you need to be very careful in giving a word, basically. Okay, otherwise what happens is people will lose trust in you. Okay, very important. And the next karmic lesson that you need to know is to nurture and protect. So Kritika Nakshatra has this story of the Kritikas, right? Um, so therefore, it is imperative that you do some kind of nurturing and fostering. That is good for you. So if you have your child, then very good. If you are not married and you don't have children, or if you are married and you still don't have children, then maybe you should have children, or you should adopt some children, or you should try to do some act by which you can give to somebody. Okay, very, very, very important for Kritika Nakshatra native. Otherwise, you may have lot of your passion may not be channelized. Okay, then the next lesson, which is very important, is that you should learn to practice humility. Okay, this is maybe the most important lesson. If you don't have humility, then you might get curses. Okay, because yeah, Kritika Nakshatra can be very narcissistic sometimes. You could be very arrogant, very adamant, full of yourself. So cultivate some humility. Now, how do you cultivate humility? You should learn more about God, about great personalities, spiritual personalities, how humble they were, like Yudhishthir Maharaj, for example, um, Bhagwan Ram, then Bhagwan Krishna, then you can read more about Lord Shiva. no, and any other great personality who inspires you. Okay, so therefore, when you do this, you will realize that I'm just a speck of dust in front of all of these personalities, and I'm nobody special, right? So therefore, you need to do some humble work. Okay, humble work in the sense, like toilet cleaning, dustbin cleaning, mopping the floor. So go to the temple or go to a gurdwara and do some cleaning there, do some seva there. Okay, very, very important. The next lesson is that you should enter into some kind of work related to fire or cooking or martial arts. One of the three. Some element of this should be there in your life, because Kritika Nakshatra has to deal with food and cooking, especially not like too much of the restaurant side, but the cooking aspect. So dealing with fire is very important. So you can do yagyas, okay, and you should be able to do things with proper precision. So try to focus on precision, okay. That's very important for you. And also martial arts, any form of sport which is a bit intense, where you need to protect yourself. So that is something you can do, high intensity interval training and all this, okay. And one more important lesson for you is that you need to check your blood pressure and your adrenal hormones, okay. Because for you, it can be possible that you are all time high for some reason, okay. So therefore, make sure you are getting your animalistic side tested. Okay, so it could happen that if things are very bad, you could have stroke, and things can go haywire because you don't have good sleep, and you have a lot of undigested passion inside. So go and do humble services, exert yourself, like physically, just like you should be so tired after the day that in the night you come and you just want to crash in the bed, okay. You should have no energy left, okay. Otherwise it will be difficult for you to stay true to your purpose, find balance, and have a good peace of mind, okay. So therefore, if you have Kritika Nakshatra, these are the summaries, like for example, uh, love triangle, stay away; extramarital affairs, stay away; sexuality, seduction, false allegation from the opposite sex, be associated with fire, martial arts, cooking, yagyas, don't criticize others too much, don't be full of yourself, do humble services, and treat people respectfully. All right. Of course, it does not mean that anybody who has Kritika will have all these negative traits. But in general, if the horoscope is not very good, then you might have these difficulties. So you need to work on yourself and you need to purify yourself. All right. Thank you so much for your patience. If you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to hit the thumbs up and share it with somebody who may need it. And for personalized consultations, please go to my website down in the description section. God is there with you all the time. Just look to Him and you will find Him. And don't forget to subscribe if you have not subscribed yet. All right. Take care. Jai Siya Ram.